What's up, fight fans? This is Slim Olokpe with Slim Olokpe Boxing. So, legendary fighter turned promoter Oscar De La Hoya has reignited the boxing world's most heated debate. Because in a scathing social media rant, the former 6th Division world champion branded today's fighters as timid and unwilling to take risks. But his sharpest criticism was reserved for his former protege, Canelo Alvarez, whom he labeled the king of the fattest, nastiest, and the sloppiest era in boxing. So in this video, we will unpack De La Hoya's fiery comments, examine his claim that this generation lacks true warriors, and explore whether Canelo deserved the heat he has been getting from De La Hoya. Actually, Oscar De La Hoya's words come from a place of frustration. And while he was reflecting on his career, De La Hoya praised the 90s for his fearless matchups featuring legends like Mike Tyson, Julio Cesar Chavez, Felix Trinidad, and of course himself. And according to De La Hoya, he said today's fighters prioritize their records and paychecks over glory. He also pointed at Arturo Gatti and Mickey Ward as an example of two gritty fighters respected for their all-out wars despite not having perfect records. So he pointed to these two warriors as an example of what boxing has lost, because in today's era, fighters don't want to lose their record. Nobody wants to lose. It's not like in the 90s when people like Mike Tyson and even Oscar De La Hoya himself was fighting. So De La Hoya's cutting remarks definitely took aim at a lack of unpredictability in modern boxing, claiming that fans often knows the outcome of a fight before they even begin. Also, De La Hoya didn't spare his former star, Canelo Alvarez, in his critique. Once the sweethearts of Golden Boy Promotions, Canelo and De La Hoya had a bitter fallout, and their rivalry continued outside the ring. So, De La Hoya accused Canelo of dodging challenges and even called him the face of a boring, predictable era. He also referenced Canelo's recent fight with Edgar Berlanga, mocking Berlanga's post-fight celebration for simply surviving 12 rounds. And while Canelo's accomplishments as a 4-weight world champion and unified super middleweight king are undeniable, critics often point to his reluctance to face dangerous opponents like Benavidez and Terence Crawford. So for all these reasons, De La Hoya's fiery comments have sparked a larger debate among boxing fans, and people are saying that is today's boxing scene really the worst era in boxing? Supporters of De La Hoya's view are arguing that the 90s produced warriors who fought anybody, anywhere, and delivered memorable fights. Meanwhile, detractors say that the sport has evolved, with fighters being smart about career longevity and business decisions. Canelo supporters also point out that he has taken risks by moving across weight classes and facing elite competition, including Floyd Mayweather, Gennady Golovkin, and Dimitri Bivol. But the looming question remains that why hasn't he faced David Benavidez yet? So because of this reason, Oscar De La Hoya concluded his rant with a glimmer of hope, believing that boxing cycle will bring back the fearless matchup of the 90s. But Oscar De La Hoya ended up concluding his rant with a glimmer of hope, and he highlights that he still believes that the circle of boxing will bring back the fearless matchup of the 90s. So fighters like David Benavidez, who has been chasing a bout with Canelo for years, may represent the next generation of warriors willing to take risks. You know that the era of Canelo are people that don't want to take risks. They are always looking for who they can beat. But now we have a younger warriors coming, people like David Benavidez, who are looking to take the big fight. Benavidez is even looking to face either Dimitri Bivol or Otto Batebiev, and he is very confident that he's going to beat them in order to face Canelo. So definitely, I agree with Oscar De La Hoya on this point that the upcoming generation are looking like people that are not going to be ducking each other. They look like they want to fight anybody. It seems they are going to bring back the days of the 90s. But if Canelo versus Benavidez end up happening, it could also prove De La Hoya wrong, or cement his argument that this era really lacks the courage to make the best fight happen. All they talk about in this era is about the money, about popularity, about the fans. They are not really having those real beef that we watched about those who fight in the 90s. They are not really having real beefs. We have fighters saying that they are doing this for the money. It's all about the money. It's not really about the glory anymore. And this is what Oscar De La Hoya is calling out. So Oscar De La Hoya's explosive comment has definitely reignited the age-old debate about what makes a great era in boxing. And while his criticism of Canelo Alvarez and these modern fighters may stink, his criticisms also raise valid questions about the direction of the sport. But boxing fans, what do you think? Is De La Hoya right to call this era of boxing the worst era of boxing? Or does Canelo Alvarez deserve the title of its king, as Oscar De La Hoya called him the king of this era, and this era is the most boring, fattest and nastiest era in boxing? Is it right to say Canelo is the king of such an era? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.